Hello all, welcome to session 8 of Selenium 4 training series. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate modifiers and interfaces in Java. So let's get started. First of all, I'll explain modifiers. What is the purpose of modifiers in Java? In Java, we can use modifiers. Okay, there are different modifiers available, guys, in Java, and these modifiers can be used with classes. We can also use these modifiers, this different list of modifiers we have in Java. We can also use them with variables, and also we can use these modifiers with methods. Okay, we can also use these modifiers with methods. So what will happen if you use these different modifiers with classes, variables, and methods? These modifiers, when used with classes, variables, and methods, will modify the default behavior of these items. Okay, will modify the default behavior of these items, that is classes, variables, and methods behavior, whatever that is there by default, right? That will be modified according to the type of modifier you have specified before these items. Okay, now let me explain what are the different modifiers that are available in Java that can be used before these classes, variables, and methods. So here I'll draw the diagram. So I'll just mention that as modifiers. Modifiers in Java can be categorized into two types. One are access modifiers. Okay, the first type is access modifiers, and the second type of modifiers we have are non-access modifiers. Okay, these are the two category of modifiers we have in Java. Under access modifiers, we have different modifiers like public, public, then private, then protected, then default. Okay, so these are the different modifiers we have under the access modifiers category in Java. And coming to the non-access modifiers category, we have three non-access modifiers, that is static, final, and last one is abstract. Okay, these are the three non-access modifiers we have. Total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total 7 modifiers we have in Java, guys. These modifiers can be used with classes, variables, and methods so that the default behavior of these items will be modified according to the type of the modifier you have specified. Okay, fine. I'll go with one by one, guys. Okay. So during this session, I'll explain one by one modifier for you. So let's get started with the first modifier, that is public modifier. Okay, public access modifier. So what is this public access modifier? Okay, so for that, I'll open this editor and here I'll create a class. Okay, I'll create a class, guys. I'll create a class known as let's say car class. I will create. Okay, car class I'll create. You see, when I create this car class, by default, this class is coming with the public access modifier, right? Public access modifier. That's okay. That means access modifier can be used with the classes. This public can be used with what? Classes. Okay, it can be used with classes. Okay, now before I explain about this public with the classes, we'll understand the public with the variables and methods first. Okay, first let's understand using this public access modifier with variables and methods. After that, I'll explain this with the class. Okay, so let's create some properties, that is variables and methods with this modifier. Okay, so first I'll create public. Okay, public, I'll say string model. Okay, public string model I'll say. Okay, so public string model, and here I'll create one method, guys. For example, I'll create one method, public void start car. Okay, here I'll create few more things. Otherwise, public int price. Okay, int price. Here I'll create one more method, public void stop car. If you clearly observe, guys, okay, we have used this public access modifier not only before the class, but also before the variables. Okay, before the variables, we have used the public access modifier, and also while creating the methods also, we have specified the methods also with the public access modifier, right? Fine. Here, I'll say system.out.println model plus car started. Here also, I'll say system.out.println model plus, okay, model plus car stopped, like this I'll say. Fine. Now, so far so good guys. Okay, so far so good. We created a car class template. In that I created two variables and two methods, and everything, that is class, variables and methods, got specified with which access modifier? Public. Everywhere you see public, I have specified. Before the class I specified public, before the variables I provided public, before the methods also I provided public. Okay, so that means public can be used with classes, variables and methods. Okay, all these are supporting, right? I can specify the public access modifier before the classes, variables and methods. Now guys, what I will do here is, okay, what I will do here is I'll create one more class, say demo class. Okay, I'll create one more class known as demo class. I'll right click and say open in right split this demo class. So inside the demo class, I'll create main method. Okay, I'll create a method known as, I'll create a main method. Fine. So I created a class, and inside the class I created the main method. Done. So now, since this class, variables and methods all are public, that means, okay, that means guys, this class, variables and methods can be accessed anywhere in this project. Simple terms guys. Public means it's open for everything, right? Open. It's kind of open. Okay, no restrictions. Public specified, public specified classes, variables and methods can be accessed anywhere in the project. Okay, anywhere in the project you can access this public access modifier specified classes, variables and methods. Okay, no restrictions. Okay, outside the class you can access, within the class you can access, right? Anywhere you can access. For example, here we have this demo class, okay, which is there in the project. Okay, and here we have the main method. How to access this class guys? How to check whether this class is accessible outside? Here inside the demo class, can we access the car class? How to do that? How to check that? Inside the main method, I'll create an object for the car. Okay, if I am able to create an object for this car class, that means the car is accessed outside the class. Okay, outside this particular file, outside this particular Java file, we can access this car class because car is specified as public guys. Okay, that's why I can access. Because of this access modifier only, I'm able to access this car outside this class. Okay, outside this file. Now I'll say car C is equal to, okay, new car. Car C is equal to new car. Now, can I access these variables and methods also outside this class? Yes, it is. They are also public, right? You can access them outside the class, and anywhere in this project you can access any of these classes, variables and methods. Okay, no restrictions at all. So here if I say C dot model, okay, C dot model is equal to, I'll give some model guys. Let's say Swift VDI model I'll give. Okay, you see I'm able to access a variable, right? The model is one of the variable I am able to access. Similarly, I can access another variable, that is C dot price. C dot price. Okay, not only inside the class, but also we can access these variables and methods outside the class because they are specified with public access modifier. That's what is public guys. Anywhere in the project we can access these classes, variables and methods. Price I'll give that as 8 lakhs. Okay, now similarly, like I'm able to access these variables outside the class. Similarly, I can access these methods also because even methods are specified with the public access modifier here. So simply I'll say C dot start car, C dot stop car. Now if I run the code, I should get the proper output. That is Swift VDA car started, Swift VDA car stopped. Like that I should get the output. Let's run this. Should get the output guys. Proper output should keep coming. The program is running. You see? Swift VDI car started and Swift VDI car stopped. That means the public access modifier specified classes, variables, and methods can be accessed anywhere inside this project. Okay, anywhere inside the project you can access this classes, variables, and methods. So again, I'll do one more experiment here. I'll create one package, guys. Okay. So I know I have not explained anything about package for you. Packages, the purpose of the packages are, okay, in simple words. Okay, I'll be explaining about packages in a detailed manner later. But for now, at a high level, just for this context, I'll explain about packages here. The purpose of the packages is to categorize or organize the stuff. Okay, related stuff. For example, guys, if I take a real world example, okay, let's say there is a room in your at your home, and this is your room, and where you put all your books. Okay, let's say there are no proper shelves, and you need to put all your books in this room. What you will do, guys? Okay, so you'll not organize them, right? You'll put here and there. Okay, because there are no shelves in this room, so simply you'll in an unorganized way, without any particular order, you'll put all the books together. Suddenly, if I come to you and ask about a particular book, then you need to, it will take some time, guys. Okay, you need to go to this place where all the books are available in your room, and you keep on checking one by one, right? One by one book you have to check, and finally, once you find the required book, then you'll give it to me, right? But this process will take time. What if in your room, okay, wherever you are placing the books, you have different racks like this. Okay, there are different racks for placing the books. Okay, so some partitions are there, the racks. And now if this kind of racks are there, what you will do, guys? Instead of putting all the books together like this, you'll put all the related books. For example, some story books. Okay, some story books, you will put it here. Okay, let's say you are a student. Okay, you are a student. Okay, so all your study books, right, that you generally carry to your college or whatever it is, that you will put it here, right? So you're organized, guys. Okay, novels, you will put novels there. Fiction stories, you will fiction kind of writings, you will put it here. Okay, philosophy books, you'll write here, you'll put it here. Like that, you categorize this. In this case of categorizing, guys, okay, all the related books are put together as separate categories. Suddenly, if I ask you for a particular book, in this case, guys, it will be very easy. Okay, you'll go to that particular category from which I'm asking the book for and get me the book, whatever. This will take less time. The same thing is all about the packages, guys. In the Java projects, we may have to create a lot of, okay, a very big list of, okay, very big list of files, Java files, class files, interfaces, okay, different files. Like that, we have to create a lot of stuff, guys. Okay, this project is very simple one, but in real time, if you go for any application developed project, right, that project will contain thousands of files, and it's not a simple thing to find the related file if you don't categorize. To categorize, guys, we need something known as, to like this racks. If you want to categorize, like the racks are categorizing this kind of books, right? Similarly, if you want to categorize your files, that are thousands of files that you are going to put under the project, right? For that, you need to use something in Java known as packages. We have to use. Okay, to create this kind of separations where you want to group the related files and all those stuff, right? We need packages in Java. In simple words, guys, at a high level. I'll explain more about packages later anyhow, but at a high level, you understood, right? So what I will do here is, as an experiment, okay, I'll put these two files under one package. Right click new. First, I'll create a package, guys. Okay. So how to create a package? Right click on the SRC, select new, and select the package here. Say pack one. Okay, I'll just name that as pack one. Any name you can give, guys. And coming to the naming convention of the packages, guys. Okay, all lowercase should be there. Okay, all lowercase letters should be there when you are naming the packages. Okay, no uppercase letters, complete lowercase. Multiple words also lowercase. Okay, so here, move these two files under this package. Okay, I'm moving this to car and demo file. Click on the refactor here. You see, under this package, these two files are there. So in this case, guys, no problem, guys. Okay, so I'll just open in right split, and fine. Here, this will work, guys, because this particular class, okay, this particular class can be is specified with public, and these variables are also specified with public, and also these methods are specified with public access modifier. So outside this class, okay, outside this class, This is another class, guys. Okay, the demo class, which is inside the same package, no problem. Okay, this is a separate class, but inside the same package where the this car class is there. So from this class, which is outside this class but inside the same package, I can access like this without any problem. I can create an object for the class, okay, because class is of a public access modifier specified, and also I can access these variables and methods like this without any problem. But what if I create another package? Okay, I'll say pack2. This is a separate package, guys. Okay, under this pack2, I'll create one class known as demo2 class. But here guys, this demo2 class is not inside the same package where the car class is available. In this case, what will happen? Let's see. Okay, I'll say open in right split. Yes. In this case, what will happen? When our class, okay, when the required class is in a different package, okay, and still can I access this class variables and methods? Yes, still I can do that because why? Because public specified classes, variables, and methods can be accessed anywhere in the project, not only in the project, not only inside the package, but also anywhere in the project means this package is also belong to the same project. So I can access here also, right? In the different package also, I can access this public specified classes, variables, and methods. Guys, let's try that. Again, I'll create a main method here inside this demo2 class. And here I'll try to create an object for the car class. New car, like this. But I'm getting an error. Earlier, when I created this demo class and try to access this uh, class variables and methods in this class, I was not getting this error. But this time, since I'm outside the package, I'm getting this error, right? Since I'm outside this package, I'm getting this error. Hover the mouse on this class, and simple thing that I have to do is when the required class, which is even though it is a public one, is outside the package, then in Java, guys, we have to import the class before utilizing the class. Okay, before creating the object or accessing the class or whatever it is, first we have to import this from that particular package. The car class belongs to which package? Pack1. But demo2, the current class that I am using is belong to which package? Pack2. Packages are different. So if in that case, when the packages are different, if you want to use this class which belongs to another package, the first thing that you have to do is you have to import this class from this package. Then only you can start using this class. For the mouse and say import class. That means I can access, right? Still I can access within the project, I can access, guys. But only the difference is when the class belong to another package, I have to do an extra step where I have to import this class from that package. You see, this statement I have to write manually, or if you are using this kind of editors, you can simply hover the mouse on the class and say import. That will be done. Okay, this statement will be automatically added. Import this car class from which package? Pack1, because this belongs to a different package. From the same package, you don't have to import, guys. Okay, if this class belongs to the same pack2, then you don't have to import. But if this class belongs to another package, then it's mandatory that you have to import this class from that package, another package, then you can start using. Okay, now you can use, guys. Can say C is equal to car. Okay, car C is equal to like this, you can start using. Now I can access all the variables and methods also. These variables and methods are also public access modifier, right? I can access C dot model. I'll say amaze model. Okay, and C dot price. I'll give the price as 9 lakhs, and I'll say C dot start car, C dot stop car. Okay, C dot start car, C dot stop car. I'll say now I'll run this class. This will work, guys. This is going to work. Okay. Only the difference is outside the package, I have to import the class. That's it. Okay. Within the package, no need to import the class. Okay. So that's the only difference. Amaze car started, Amaze car stopped. Okay. So it's working fine, right? It's working fine. Fine. So this is what is the public access modifier, guys. Okay. I'm done with the public access modifier. I can specify this public access modifier with classes, variables, and methods, and the variable classes, variables, and methods which are specified with public access modifier can be accessed anywhere inside the project, either in the within the package or outside the package. No difference. Okay. Only the difference is we have to import the class before using. Okay. But still we can access. But now let's go with the other one, that is private. Okay. Private is an opposite for public, right? You see, if you go to any vacation or very good vacation destination, generally there will be a beach, right? That vacation in that destination there will be a beach. So most of the beaches will be public, guys, but there will be some beaches which are private. Okay, the people who check into that hotel can only access the beaches. The general public cannot access the beaches. Okay, so like that. Private means everyone cannot access. Only few, only the hotel people, the one who can check into the hotel, right? They and stay in the hotel, right? They can access that facilities of that beach. But public means everyone. Okay, everyone can simply without any entry pass they can go and okay, access the beach. But private beaches are not like that. Similarly here in Java also, private access modifier also same thing is okay, it will restrict the access. So what I will do here is I will simply okay, so let's not worry about this package for now. Let's go inside this car class and I'll make all the things. But one thing is private doesn't support classes. Okay, private can only be used for variables and methods. Okay, private can be only used for variables and methods. I'll just change the font style here like this. I'll change. Private can be only used by variables and methods. Okay, private doesn't support classes. If you still try to provide a class as private, you'll get an error. Okay, you see when I change the public to private, automatically I'm getting an error. Hover the mouse on this. It's saying modifier private not allowed here. You cannot specify private before a class. Okay, before a class you cannot mention private. This is not allowed, guys. This modifier is not allowed to be specified before the classes. Only public is allowed here. Okay, you cannot use private there. What about variables and methods? Can I use this private access modifier with these variables and methods? Yes, I can use, guys. Okay, so I can make them private here. Private, private. Okay, private, private. Fine, I can do this, no problem. I'll delete these files, guys. Okay? Otherwise, you'll get this kind of errors. I'll delete these files. So let me delete these files. 1 minute. Let me delete these files. Yeah, you see the errors are gone. So here only one class we have under the package. Now I will freshly create another class under this pack one. I'll just name that as demo class, and I'll open this demo class on the right side of the screen. Open in right split, and here inside this demo class I'll create main method. And now you see the class is public. Okay, the class is public only, but only the variables and methods are private now. Okay, only these properties are private, but class is public only. So that means here we can simply create an object, right? There's no restriction here because public means you can access, right? New car, without any problem I can create an object and say car C is equal to new car, I can say. Fine. Now the problem is with these variables and methods, they are private. You cannot access these private variables outside the class. Okay, private means what? Private access modifier specified variables and methods. Okay, private specified variables and methods can only be accessed within the class. Within the class only you can access. Outside the class you cannot access. Okay, outside the class these private variables and methods are restricted. So you see this demo is outside this car class, right? It's a separate class. So within the class I can access all these variables and methods, but outside the class I cannot access. You see, try it once, guys. C dot model is equal to, okay, you see immediately I'm getting an error. I'm trying to give a model here I-20 or something I'm going to give, but I am getting an error here. Already I'm getting an error, guys. Model has private access. It cannot be accessed outside the class. Similarly, guys, C dot price. Again, you see immediately red color is coming. That means this also cannot be accessed because this is also private. Then coming to this one method, let's try to call the methods C dot. You see when I say C dot in the suggestions also these methods are not coming. If I forcibly write it also, okay, if I forcibly try to call that, I'll get error saying start car has private access modifier specified. You cannot access. C dot stop car also same thing. Okay, stop car also same thing. I cannot access. There's a problem, guys. Okay, cannot access this private specified variables and methods outside the class. Within the class, okay. Within this car class, anywhere you can use. For example, here I can use it, okay. This out, okay. You see, I already have used, right? Model is already there, okay. If I say model, okay, I can use it. This out, I can use price. You see, no problem. No errors are coming. Within the class, no problem. I can also call these methods. You see, if I in the start car, if I can call the stop car method, no problem. I can call this method, no problem. Within the class, no problem, guys. But outside the class, it's not possible because these are private. They are private to this class. Okay. Only within the class, you can use these variables and methods, and outside the class, you cannot use. This is what is private access modifier. Okay. So that means outside the package also same, right? Same scenario will come. Okay. Within the class, that means even a class which is there in the same package also is not working out. Different package, not at all work out, right? Same scenario will come. Okay. With either within the package or outside the package, if that is a separate class, then you will not be able to access this private access specified variables and methods. Okay. That's what is private, guys. That's what is private. Now, let me close this. I'll delete this file, and here I'll make them public again. Okay, I'll just change them back to public for a while. Now you understood private, right? Public access modifier specified variables and methods can only be accessed within the class. Outside the class or outside the package, not possible. Okay, simple words. So that is private access modifier, guys. And now let's go with the third access modifier, that is the default access modifier. Okay, the default access modifier, and this default access modifier can be specified with classes. Okay, you can specify this sorry, default, right? This is the one I'm going to explain. Default, first default I'm explaining. Default can be specified with classes. You can specify default. Okay, you can specify the default with classes. Classes can be specified with default. Then what about variables? Variables also can be specified with default. Methods also can be specified with default. Okay, default access modifier can be specified before classes, variables, and methods. Okay, so there is no keyword, guys. If you don't specify any access modifier like public, private, or protected, automatically it is default. There is no keyword like, okay, here you see for public there is a keyword, right? Like public keyword. For private, you generally type private here. Okay, for protected also you have to type protected, like this protected you have to type for protected. But for default, if you don't specify anything, you see before this variable, I didn't specify either public or private or protected. In this case, this variable is by default. Okay, by default is the default access modifier. So that is what is default access modifier. If you don't specify any access modifier before a class, variable, or method, that becomes a default access modifier specified items. Okay, so here can I remove this public here before the class? You see, I can. This is the default access modifier. Before the variable, I'll remove all the access modifiers. These variables are also default access modifiers. Now, what about methods? Directly, I'll start with void, return type, and method name. Yeah, this is also fine. Default access modifiers, right? Now, class, variables, and methods inside this car class, okay, including the class along with its properties, that variables and methods are specified with default access modifier, because we didn't specify any access modifier, means by default it is default access modifier. In this case, what happens? Let's see. So here you need to understand about default, guys. Okay, in this case you need to understand about default. I'll remove this part from here so that I can access this area. So if there is no access modifier specified, by default it is default access modifier. The classes, variables, and methods which are specified with default access modifier act something like this. Okay, they will act like public within the package. Within package, okay, within package, if you try to access, they will act like public. Okay, but outside package, they are private. Private outside package. Simple words. Okay, default will act like public within package and private outside package. For example, within this pack one, if I create one more class, all these properties, this is class, variables, and method will act like public within the package. If I create another class here, say demo class, inside the same package of this car class, and I'll open this. on the right split like this, and here I'll create the main method. Now here in this another class which belongs, because demo and car class belong to the same page, pack1 pack1. Okay, in this case, if default access modifier is specified for this class variables and methods, then they all act like, by default they act like public. Within the package they act like public. That means I can access this car here. Okay, I can create an object here. See, new car, no problem, right? I can access. If I'm able to create an object, means I can access the class. Outside the class I can access the class. Car C is equal to new car. Done. This is okay. Similarly, variables and methods also will act like public, because this class belong to the same package. They act like public. For the classes which are there in the same package, this all these things or items will act like public. So C dot model, you see, without any problem I can access the model here. You see, model is coming already. I'll say amaze model, and C dot price. I can access the price here without any problem. 9 lakhs I will give, and I'll say C dot start car, C dot stop car, like this I'll give. Now I'll run this. It will work, guys, without any problem. It will work because default access modifier specified classes, variables, and method act like public within the package. Okay, since this particular class is also there in the package, all these are like public for this particular class. See, amaze car started, amaze, all the details got displayed here, right? So I didn't remove all this stuff, that's why it's happening like that. Okay, now let me run it again. You'll get a proper output this time. Amaze car started, amaze car stopped. Okay, so I can access, right? I can access all the properties of this class which are specified with the default access modifier. But the problem is outside the package is the problem. For outside the package, if there is another class which is outside the package, then this class variables and methods will become private automatically. Okay, outside the package, because they are default access modifier, right? Outside the package they are private. If I say demo2 here, and inside this I'll close and open it here, right click and say open in right split, and here main method I'll create, and inside the main method when I create an object for this, I cannot create object for this car class because it cannot be accessed, guys. You see, if I say new car, I'll get error. Immediately I'm getting an error. For the mouse, I cannot even, okay, I will import it. That's fine. I imported this, but still error is there, right? This car class belongs to another package and it's specified with the default access modifier. That means outside the package, you cannot access this car. Outside this package, that is outside the pack one, you cannot access this class. So even after importing also, it's simply saying that you have to make this car class public, then only you can access, otherwise cannot access. If I'm unable to access the car, if I'm unable to access this class, how can I access this variables and method? Without object reference, how can I access these variables and methods? By default, everything is gone. For a while, let's say I'll keep it public, okay? Just for creating the object here, okay? I'll remove this import statement. So if this class is kind of public and remaining all are default access modifier, so only class can be accessed outside the package. So I can create an object here, right? And but I will get an error because I need to import this car class first, not to use. But I can access still after importing this car class from different package. I can use it. Okay, car C is equal to new car. But these variables and methods are still default access modifier specified. Outside the package, they are kind of private. That means using this object reference, I cannot access. You see, C dot model is not coming at all, right? The moment I say model, it's saying is not public. Okay, outside the package they are not public, within the package they are public, guys. Okay, even I cannot say C dot start car also. Okay, start car also is not coming, they are not public. Outside the package they are not public, guys. Okay, that's the problem. So hope guys you understood what will happen if you specify the class variables and methods with the default access modifier. Okay, if you don't specify any access modifier, by default they are like this. If you do, they are all these classes variables and methods are default access modifiers. Okay, I'll delete this class again. Fine, only car class we have. Fine. So this is what is protected, guys. Protected again. Let me repeat the this default. Okay, let me repeat the default here. when you don't specify any access modifier, by default it will become default, and default means public within the package and private outside the package. Okay. And now the next item is, next access modifier we have is the protected, guys. Okay, protected access modifier. How does it work? How does this protected access modifier work? Let me explain. Protected also same as default, guys. Okay, protected access modifier is also same as default with small slight difference. Okay, I'll explain. Here also protected means public within package. Okay, public within package and private outside package. Public within package and private outside package. Okay, public within package and private outside package. Same thing. But what is the difference? But in case of protected, there is one class, that is the child classes. Even though, even though this protected, okay, is private outside the package, for all the classes outside the outside the package, all the classes it's private, but except child classes, guys. Okay, there is an exemption, like child classes can access still. Okay, these private things can be accessed by child classes. Okay, if this class is going to be a child class of this class in another package, then it's okay. But if there is no relation between this class and this class as part of inheritance, then not possible. Okay, so you'll see that in action now. Anyhow, I will specify. Can I specify protected for a class? Protected is not possible for the classes, guys. Only for the variables and methods it's possible. Okay, if I type protected here, you'll get an error. You see, the access modifier is not possible for the classes. Okay, only public and default are possible for the class. Protected cannot be specified for the classes. Okay, you see, modifier not allowed here. Okay, done. So I'll make it public for now. Okay, since protected is not possible, I'll make it public. But variables and methods, I can make it protected. No problem. Okay, protected, protected. Here method also protected. Here this method also protected, guys. Like this. Okay, the variables and methods are protected. No problem. But I cannot specify protected before the class. Okay, fine. So that means here protected. Okay, protected is only for variables and methods. Okay, protected is only can be only applied for, specified for variables and methods. It cannot be applied for classes. Okay, like that, protected. Now, guys, so I changed these variables and methods to protected. Now I'll create another class inside the same package first. For within the package, guys, no problem. Okay, if the class is there inside the package, it will act like public. Okay, but the classes is within the same package, no problem. They are public only. I'll create main method here. I'll just close this and open in the right split. Open in right split. I can open it here. Okay, done. Now, guys, this variables and methods which are specified with protected access modifier will act like public within the package. Since this class, demo class, is also in the same package, no problem. Okay, class is anyhow public. It cannot be provided with protected. So I can directly create an object for the car because it's anyhow public. Car C is equal to new car. So no problem till here. What about these variables and methods? They're also like public within the package. Since this class is within the package, they can be accessed without any restrictions. That is, I can say C dot model is equal to, I can give the model like MS model. I can say C dot price. You see, I can access, right? C dot price, and I'll give 9 lakhs. Then I can call this methods also start car C dot. You see, the moment I see C dot, I'm getting the suggestions also. No problem. It will, if I run this, it will run properly. MS car started, MS car stopped will come in the output, guys. In a while, the program is running. You see, MS car started, MS car stopped. Done. All good. But what if I create a class outside the package? Here I'll create another class, but this class is going to be there outside the package in a separate package. Okay. So in this case, what will happen? I'll right click and open this right split. Here the package is different. So in this case, guys, this protected stuff will behave like, this protected stuff will behave like private. But the class is anyhow public. Okay, it cannot be provided protected. So I can access a class here. Okay, inside this class, outside the package also I can access this class because class is public type by default. So no problem. New car, I can create an object for the car class, and I'll get error because I need to import this car, because outside the package I need to import the class even though it's public. And once I imported this car class from this another package, then I can say like this car C is equal to, but Using this object reference, I cannot access any of this stuff because this class is outside the package. For outside the package, all this will behave like private. So private you cannot access, right? P dot, you see, P dot model is not coming, price is not coming, start car is not coming, stop car is. If I still try manually, you see, I'm already getting an error saying model has protected access in pack one. Okay, you cannot access this outside the package. C dot price is also not possible. Then C dot start car. If I manually type also, okay, start car, it's not suggesting, but still, if I manually type, you see, protected access, it's saying. Similarly, stop car also you cannot access. Okay, that's what is the problem. Outside the package, it's not possible. They will act like private, but there is a clause. The clause is, what if, guys, I make this car class a parent of this demo to class. In that case, it is a possibility. Okay, if I make this car class as a parent of this class, then fine. Let's try that extends car, I'll say. Okay, extends car. This is what is the difference between the default and protected, guys. In case of protected, child classes, there is an exemption. Okay, for child classes, they are not like private. Okay, these protected things are not private for the child classes. I can access. There is a way. I'll make this demo to a, okay, I will make this demo to child class of this car class. Then in this case, what I can do is I can access. Okay, I'll say this out, or else I'll say model is equal to, I'll simply say model is equal to directly. Okay, model is equal to semicolon here. Non-static field model cannot be referenced from a static context. Okay, so this is a method is kind of static, guys. I should not be using the static method here. I'll create a normal method here just to showcase public void. So there is a problem with static thing. So static stuff I'll cover later. I don't want to confuse you right now. That's why I'm replacing that main method with a normal method here. Sample method, I'll say sample method, some method other than main method, because main method has to be of static type by default. So I cannot use here, guys. Since one of the method of this class I can access, you see, system.out.println, or otherwise I'll simply say model is equal to, okay, I can access, guys. Okay, model is equal to, I can assign amaze, I can assign. Okay, no problem. Here price is equal to, I can access, right? These errors are not coming. So since this particular class has become the child class of this parent class car, I can directly access like this. Okay, I don't have to create an object for the car also. Okay, because it's a child class, right? I can access like this. And also I can call this methods directly. I can call, no need of object reference, guys. No need to create an object here. Okay, directly I can access. You see, all these things I can access, no problem. So this is what is a flexibility, guys. But what if I'll remove this protected from here? This will become default. Immediately errors will come. You see, for default, this flexibility is not there. Okay, for default access modifier, this flexibility is not there. Even though this class is outside the package and it is a child class of this car class, this is not possible for default. But if you provide protected only, this flexibility is there. You see, the moment I say protected, you see error is gone. For default, they are still private. Okay, even though you create that for a child class also, it's private. Okay, these properties are private for child classes also. Protected, gone, protected, gone, like this. Okay, this is the difference between the default and protected, guys. Hope you understood. Within the package, outside the package, you have to understand. Okay, fine. For protected, except for child classes, remaining all classes outside the package, we cannot access the variables because they are private by default for all the classes. But for default, even though child class is also protected, private only. Okay, for child class only, they are private. Okay, fine. So these are the four access modifiers, guys. Okay, these are the four access modifiers: private, public, protected, and default. That is default and protected. So I am done with the access modifiers. Now we need to go for the other category of modifiers, that is non-access modifiers. Okay, let's get started with the non-access modifiers. Fine. So under non-access modifiers, we have static, final, and abstract. First, I'll explain static. After that, I'll explain final and then abstract. Okay, one by one, I will explain. So static is very important, guys. Okay, compared to other non-access modifier, static is very important. Okay, everyone has to understand this. Very important, I can say. Okay, let's get started with the static non-access modifier now. So before I directly explain what exactly is static, Okay, let me do some coding here. I'll remove all this stuff. I'll delete this stuff, guys. Okay, so I'll delete all these packages and classes that I have created earlier, like this. Now, freshly, I'll create a new class. I'll create a new class, and again, I'll name that as a car class only. I want to create the template, guys. Okay, so I don't want to explain what is static right now. Okay, so you'll understand eventually when I'll show you a problematic situation. Then you itself will feel that the need of static. Okay, at the time. So till then, just keep watching whatever I'm doing on the screen. Okay, so I'm just creating this class, guys. I will create some properties for the class like string, model, string, color of the car, int, price of the car, double mileage of the car. Okay, int, wheels of the car, then string, company, car company. Okay, this few 6 variables I created. Similarly, some methods I'll create. Public void start car. Then here I'll write, if this method is called, I'll print it out saying model plus car started. Okay, then similarly, if I say public void stop car, I'll write this out, model plus car stopped. Done. Now here one last method, that is public void car details. Car details. So I'm simply creating a template for this car class, guys. Okay, with this properties, that is variables and methods, right? I'm simply creating a template for the car class. Okay, so here I'll say this out, model of the car is plus model, then this out, color of the car is plus color, then price of the car is plus price. This out, then model is done, color is done, price is done. Then what else is left out, guys? So mileage, right? Mileage of the car. Car is plus mileage. Then this out, then wheels. Okay, wheels that this particular car has. Wheels of the car. How many wheels? That wheels. Okay, plus wheels, I would say. Then this out, company of the car. Okay, company of the car plus company. That's it. So 3 methods I created, guys. That's fine. Here we have the 6 variables and 3 methods. Okay, I created the sample template. Now, guys, I'll create one more class, say demo class, and I'll close this demo class, and I'll open this in right split like this. And here inside the demo class, I'll create the main method. So inside the main method, guys, okay, inside the main method, I'll start creating the objects. Okay, using this car class template, I want to create the objects. So like I want to create, let's say 3, okay, 3 objects I want to create. Okay, I want to the real world entities like cars that we see in the market, Indian market, right? Swift VDI is one car, Honda Amaze is another car, and i20 Hyundai i20 is another car. 3 cars I want to represent here. So for that, guys, I need to create objects, right? First I'll create an object here. The moment I say new car, what will happen in the memory? So I'll simply say new here, and I'll start representing everything from scratch. Let's say this is a computer memory, guys. Let's say this is a computer memory. Okay, so fine. So let's assume that this is a computer memory, guys. In the computer memory, okay, the moment I say new car, an object will be created. Some memory will be reserved for this first object. Okay, and the first object will be created here. So I'll simply say, since there is no name for that, I'll say object one for now. And in order to refer to this object, guys, in order to refer to this object, I will say svdi is equal to, I'll say svdi is equal to, okay. So svdi, so this refers to this object, okay, SVDI. Now car SVDI, okay, like this, done. Now guys, using this object reference, I will assign the data to this particular things, okay. Or what is a better way, guys? Okay, what is a better way? The better way is to use the constructor, right? As explained already. Let's use a constructor. So let's create a constructor here. Okay. The best way to initialize the initialize the data in the car class is by using the constructor. Okay. Constructor makes the initialization process simple. So I'll say public, and constructor doesn't have any return type, and the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. I'll copy paste here, and they look like methods, but the name of the class, name of this constructor should match with the name of the class, and also there should not be any return type. Okay, fine. Inside this constructor, so here I'll give some parameters, guys. Okay, this many number of parameters I have to give. I'll say same parameter string model comma, okay, string model comma, string color comma, int price comma, double mileage comma, and what else we have, guys? Int wheels comma, then string company. These are the different parameters I'm giving. Okay, now what I will do here is I will say this dot model is equal to this parameter model. Okay, the cars, okay, car color is equal to parameter color. This dot price is equal to the parameter price. This dot mileage is equal to mileage. This dot wheels is equal to wheels. This dot the last one company is equal to company. Like this I'll assign. Now guys, when I'm creating this object, this constructor calling statement cannot be empty, right? Because here constructor is not empty. It has 6 parameters. So that's 6 sets of data I have to pass, right? The data required for all these parameters I need to pass. So let me pass for the Swift VDI. I'll pass Swift VDI is a model, comma. The next item is color. I'll pass the color as red color. Red will go into the color, guys. Okay, I'll just drag this side so that I can see all the stuff. Then third one is price, guys. I need to pass the price here. I'll pass the price as 8 lakh. Then I need to pass the mileage. Mileage I will pass it as 24.45, comma. Then I will pass wheels. Wheels will be 4, comma. Company is double quotes. I'll say Maruti Suzuki. Okay, like this is the company. So the moment I pass all this data, what will happen here is this data will be passed to these parameters, and these parameters will be initialized with these class variables. And in the memory here, the details will automatically come. That is model is equal to 50 EDI will come. Okay, then color is equal to red will come. Then price is equal to 8 lakhs will come. Then what else, guys? Mileage 24.45 will come. And then we have wheels is equal to 4 will come here. And then finally the company will be like Maruti Suzuki will come. Okay, so like this it happened. Now similarly I'll create one more object. Okay, for this car class I'll create one more object representing another class, another real world entity class. So I'll say new car here, and here this time, so the moment I say new car, okay, so what happens here is in the memory, this computer memory, another memory slot will be reserved, and here object 2, and here I'll pass amaze, okay, comma, gray, comma, 9 lakhs, comma, mileage, let's say 14, comma, then wheels 4, comma, then finally company is Honda, double quotes, Honda, okay, done. So here I'll say car H A H H amaze, right? Amaze, okay. So like HZE I'll create, okay. Just I'll give some random variable name, okay. So here this is being referred by an object reference known as HZE, and here also the initialization has automatically happened because constructor is simplifying the process here. So simply I'll say model is equal to amaze color is equal to, I'll say gray. Then we have price 9 lakhs, done. Then mileage 14, then wheels 4, and company Honda. Done, guys. This part is done. Now I'll create one more new car. This time I'll represent another object. So let's say Hyundai i20. Okay. Here i20 is the model, comma. The color is, let's say white. White is the color. Then next one we have price. Price I will give as let's say 10 lakhs. Okay, done. Then mileage. Mileage I will give it as 12, 12.12. Then wheels I'll give it as 4, and company I'll say Hyundai. Okay, Hyundai. Hyundai. Okay. So done. 3 objects I successfully created. I'll also give some object reference here. Okay, some memory got already allocated, some memory slot, and this is object 3. This is object 3, guys. And here all the data is already stored. So the data is like this. Model is equal to, okay, model is equal to i20. Then color is equal to white. Then price is equal to 10 lakhs. Then mileage is 12.12. Then wheels 4, and company is Hyundai. Okay, like this we created 3 objects, and for this object reference is not there. Let's create the object reference also. HI20. Okay, this object reference I want to create. So I'll say car, done. So you see we are referring to this using HI20 as the object reference. Done, guys. So far so good. If you clearly observe, guys, are we wasting any memory? Okay, here 3 objects got created, but if you clearly observe one of the property, here wheels is equal to 4, wheels is equal to 4, wheels is equal to 4. It got repeated. Are we wasting the memory or not? Yes, right? So, and that too, this wheels is a common thing, right? Every car will have only 4 wheels, right? All the cars will have 4 wheels, guys. Okay. So, but remaining all properties like model is changing for each and every object. The model is changing. Here, Swift VDI, Amazon i20. Here, color is changing, red, gray, and white. The price is changing, 8 lakh, 9 lakh, 10 lakh. Mileage is changing. Company is changing, but wheels is same. Okay, wheels are same, guys. So here, if you follow this kind of approach for wheels, okay, if you follow this kind of approach for wheels, for each and every car, if you are giving the same number of wheels, that is 444, a common value, in that case, you are doing a mistake. Okay, so this wheels belongs to the common memory. You cannot store this kind of common memory in the kind of objects. Okay, you can't store this kind of common details inside the objects because it's common. It's same for all the objects. Why to waste the memory? So in that case, guys, we have to store that in a common memory. Okay, there should be. This is not a common object memory means non-common memory. Okay, all the properties should differ here. But I want to have a common memory. Okay, I want to store these wheels in a common memory. Okay, in a common memory. So how this is possible? Okay, I want to get these wheels out of that objects and want to create only at this common memory once. Okay, 100 objects may be there. 100 times I cannot give wheels is equal to 4, right? Instead, I'll simply specify one time wheels is equal to 4 in the common memory, and all these objects will refer from this common memory. That is a great idea, right? So common memory is nothing but the class memory. Okay, class memory means what is a class here? Car is a class. So car car memory is a common memory, and here we need to store wheels. In order to make these wheels part of the common memory, have to make it static, guys. Okay, so this is where the static will come into picture. Okay, common things need to be made static. Okay, static means what? Common. Now if I mention static before the wheels, automatically this will belong to the this wheels details will be stored in the class memory, not in the object memory. So here itself I will give the value like 4, and I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to initialize every time. Okay, so this dot wheels is equal to wheels I will remove from here, and also from this parameter I will remove the wheels. Okay, because wheels is a common memory, guys. It's not a okay. Wheels is not a object memory, because for all the cars wheels will be same. So in that case we can store the wheels inside the class by making that wheels as static. We'll be storing the data of these wheels inside the car memory, that is common memory. Okay, and we should not be assigning the wheels in every for every object. We should not be giving, guys. Okay, so here, guys, if you go here, what is the other change I have to do when I because here parameter I have removed, right? So I have to remove this 4. Okay, I have to remove this 4, guys. I have to remove this parameter 4. Okay, just remove this 4. Done. Okay, so I don't have to store. Okay, this is not the correct way, guys. Okay, this is not the correct way. So I have removed it from here, guys. From the object memory I removed the wheels. Okay, wheels is not going to be stored in the object memories like this. Okay, because I will be wasting the memory. For 100 objects are there, 100 times I have to specify wheels. So much of memory is wasted. That's why I'll store wheels as part of the common memory. By making that particular wheels as static, I can do that. Okay, the moment I specify this wheels with a static non-access modifier, wheels will become to the class memory, that is common memory. That is, in this case, it is a car memory. Okay, in this example, it is a car memory. Now wheels belong to the car memory, and it's stored as, here you see already it is stored. Wheels is equal to 4 is already there because it's static. Static means common memory, class memory. Okay, automatically. Remaining all are, so here these variables are known as instance variables, whereas this variable wheels variable is known as static variable. Okay, so even though all these variables are global variables, they are created outside the methods, right? You see inside directly under the class, but outside the methods are constructors. Okay, these are global variables, but in the global variables are also there are two types. Earlier I told you one thing, right? Variables need to be categorized into two types. One is, first type of variables are local variables. Second type of variables are global variables. Okay, second type of variables are global variables. Here all are global variables only, because all these are global variables because they are directly created under the class and outside the methods and constructors they are created. These are all global variables. But in global variables also we have two types. One is instance variables, non-static variables. Okay, if you don't specify static keyword before the variables and they are outside the methods and directly under the class, this kind of variables are instance variables. Okay, instance means object variables. Okay, instance, the meaning of instance is object. Okay, object variables are instance variables, whereas the variable that is directly created under the class as a global variable and it's specified with static keyword belongs to the common memory, and that is a class variable. Okay, you can either call that as static variables. Okay, static variables are class variables. Okay, static variables are class variables. Here instance variables are object variables. Okay, they can be called as instance variables or object variables. Here static variables are class variables. They belong to the class memory. Okay, that's why static means common memory and class variables, whereas instance means they differ from object to object. This kind of variables have the data changing from object to object, and they belong to the object memory. Okay, so this is the point, guys. This is the point. Okay, we have to make something common. If you feel there is something common stuff, like not only variables, but guys, sometimes methods also will be of common type. So such methods also need to be provided with static. Okay, they should be belong to the class memory rather than the object memory. Object memory means they should not be common. Class memory means they should be common. Variables and methods which are kind of having holding some common stuff should belong to the class memory. So we have to make them static. Variables and methods which keep changing from object to object. For real world objects, if you see from object to object, if the things are changing, then they should be non-static, and that is instance, that is object related memory, and they should not be specified with static case. Okay, this is what is a static case. So all good, all good so far. Now guys, what I want to do is, here I initialize the data and all, but now if I have to access, okay, if I have to let's say uh, if I want to call this start car, which is static or non-static, this is instance, right? So instance stuff need to be accessed using the object reference case. Okay, if I have to access the object related stuff, okay, non-static or object related stuff, this method is object related, right? Start car is the object because it's not specified as static here. It doesn't belong to the class memory, it belongs to the object memory. In that case, things that belong to the object memory need to be accessed using the object reference. So here I will say svdi dot start car, because start car belongs to the object memory. I have to use the object reference to access that. Similarly, the stop car also belongs to the object memory because it's not specified as static. So svdi dot stop car. Similarly, the third method also non-static, object memory only. So svdi dot car details. Okay, here guys there is a problem. When you are accessing these fields, okay, I will remove this part. Okay, I'll remove this part. Only this model color price. Okay, this I'll be providing. Okay, for now. Now guys, understand here. But here when I run this code, all the non-static stuff, that is object related stuff, will be this model car started, model car stopped. All the details of the non-static details of the car will be displayed here without any problem. Run this code, you see. But wheels will not be coming, right? We have not accessed the wheels. You see, only the non-static stuff came. But how to access the wheels here, guys? I want to print the here in the car details, guys. When I print the car details, okay, when I have run this class and all the car details came except wheels came. Wheels didn't come. You see, the wheels didn't come. The output, you see, model of the car, color of the car, price of the car, mileage of the car, and company of the car came. But wheels, number of wheels didn't came. If I have to print the wheels also, I'll say this out. I cannot use object reference for the static. Okay, if because wheels is static, right? It belongs to the class memory, and I should not be using the object reference because here you see, if you see the diagram here, guys, wheels is no more here. Okay, I removed the wheels from this object memories, so I cannot use the object reference to access these wheels, right? Then wheels belong to the class memory. Then what I have to use? I have to use the name of the class to access. Okay, here I need to use the name of the class to access these wheels. I cannot use object reference to access the wheels. Okay, so here what I will do is I will simply say name of the class is what, car dot wheels. Like this I have to access. Okay, static variables and methods should be accessed using the class name, whereas non-static variables and methods should be accessed using the object reference. Simple words. Okay, now run this. Now this time car wheels also will be printed. Okay, car wheels also got printed. You see, car wheels 4. You can make it more better. Uh, car wheels less. Okay, like this you can write and run this. This time you'll get a proper output. Car wheels is equal to 4 will come. Program is running. You see, car wheels 4 came. Okay, so this is a way of accessing the static variables, guys. Okay, static variables and methods have to be accessed using the class name, whereas non-static, that is object oriented variables and methods, need to be accessed using the object reference. Fine. Now there is one more thing you need to understand. Static is a very big topic, guys. Okay, so I'll go out of this topic for a while. I'll go with a normal. I'll create a normal class, guys, a demo2 class. Okay, I'll create a method known as main method. You will understand something here now. The rule here is, so this main method is also a static. Okay, that means it belongs to the common memory, class memory. This main method belongs to the class memory. Okay, so static because it is static and it is mandatory for the main method to be static, guys. Okay, so when you create main method, it has to be static only. Okay, now other methods can be non-static. So here, guys, I'll create non-static method. Okay, inside the same class I'll create some non-static method. Okay, so here I'll not provide static keyword. Okay, for the method public void, I'll say method 1. Okay, so method 1. Now sys out inside method 1. Okay, now I want to use the main method to call the method one, but that won't be possible. Okay. So in beforehand, I am saying that I want to access this method one from the main method. Okay. How to access? I need to call this, right? I want to call this method from the main method, but I cannot call, I mean to say. So if I say method one, if I say method one and try to call, I'll get an error. I'm getting an error because main method is a static method, whereas method one is a non-static method. From a static method, you cannot access the non-static stuff. Over the mouse, non-static method cannot be referenced by from a static context. The simple rule here is static methods, static methods can only access static stuff. You remember this, guys. Okay, static is very important keyword. Lot of things you need to understand. Static means common memory, and apart from that, uh, in order to access the static stuff, you have to use a class name. In order to access the non-static stuff, you have to use the object reference. That's understood. You already understood. On the top of that, static methods can only access the static stuff. Okay, in Java, static methods can only access the static stuff. You see, this method is a non-static, right? It doesn't have the static, so I cannot access this non-static method. I cannot call this as non-static method. But if I have a another method as public static void method 2, this method can be called because this method is also static. From static method, you can only access static stuff. So since this method is inside method 2, this can be accessed, guys. Okay, method 2, this method can be accessed. If I call method 2 here, it will be accessed without any problem. You see, method 2, no error. But if can I access method 1 from this main method? If I type method 1 here, I call the method 1, I'll get an error because method 1 is non-static. So static methods can only access static stuff. It is not only for the methods, guys. Okay, it's not only for the methods. Okay, if I create some variables here, the variables can also be static variables and non-static. For example, string model is a non-static. Okay, string model is a non-static variable. Okay, that is a object related variable. Whereas int wheels, okay, int wheels is equal to 4 is a static variable, right? Generally, this is a common memory. Okay, wheels belong all cars will have same wheels, so it belongs to the common memory, so I have to make it static and it belongs to the class memory. Simple terms. Now, guys, here if I say sysout and if I try to say model, I'm going to get an error because static methods can only access static stuff, right? But model is not static, non-static it is. So in place of model, if I give wheels, it's okay. In place of model, if I give wheels, it's okay, guys. Error is not coming because static methods can only access which stuff? Only static stuff. Only the static variables and static methods can be accessed by the static methods. Okay, this is what is static, guys. This is what is static. But non-static methods doesn't have such rules, guys. Non-static methods can access both static and non-static stuff. Okay, non-static methods can access both. There is no rule for non-static methods. Okay, non-static methods can access both static and non-static stuff without any problem. Okay, but static methods can only access static stuff. Okay, that's you have to remember. Fine, guys. Okay. Fine, guys. I am done with the static, guys. Static is very important. So if you are kind of doubtful with the static, again if you want to watch my video, watch it again, guys. Okay, static is very important. I am repeating again and again, though static is very important. And if you don't understand static, that is a big problem, I can say. Okay. Next one is final, guys. Okay. Next one is final. So here, guys, coming to static, guys, static can be used with what? Static can be used with variables and methods, right? So variables and methods inside the class can be specified with static. So here static can be used with variables and methods. Static can be used with variables and methods. Okay, variables and methods can be used with static. Now coming to the final one, guys. Next one is final. Final also I'll make this kind of tree structure. So final can be used with different things. Okay, final can be used with classes, variables, and methods. All the three things. Okay, I can make class as final, variable as final, and methods as final. For that, I'll take another example, guys. I'll delete all this stuff. Okay. So I'll delete this. I'll take fresh examples for the for explaining final. I'll create a new class, guys. I'll say car class again. Okay, so here what will happen if I make class as final? Okay, public final class, if I say, what will happen? So when you make a class as a final, okay, let's create some sample properties here. Let's say I'll say string model of the car, and I'll say some method I'll create public void start car method I'll create. Okay, start car method model plus car started. Some sample code I'm writing, guys. I'll not write big code. Model car started I'll write simple. That's it. One sample variable and method I created. Now, guys, before the class I provide this non-access modifier known as final. Then what will happen? If you provide final before the class, this class cannot be inherited by other classes. Okay, this class cannot have children. Simple words. Okay, this class cannot have children, guys, because it's specified with final. So let's try to create some child classes for this. Okay, so let's say I'll create a child class. Say I'll say amaze. Amaze is one. Okay, if I want to make this amaze as a child of this car, let's see what will happen. So open in right split, and here I'll say extends. Okay, to make this amaze as a child class of the car class. The moment I say extends car, I'm going to get an error. You see, the problem here is the car is of final type. The final specified classes cannot be inherited. Okay, they cannot become the parents at any cost. Okay, so that is a problem. So if I remove the final, the error will be gone. You see, I can now extend. I can make this amaze as a child of the car class because car is not final, right? If I specify final here, these classes cannot be made the parent of other child classes. Okay, so that is a problem. Fine, that's all good. Now next one. So final classes cannot be inherited, guys. Okay, simple terms. Simple terms is, I'll explain about final here. Final non-access modifier I'm explaining. I can apply this final to classes. Then I can apply this class final to variables, and I can apply this final to methods also. So when I apply final to the classes, what will happen? Okay, when I apply this final to the classes, final classes cannot be inherited. Child classes cannot be there for the final classes. That's what will happen. What about the variables? What will happen with the variables if I provide final? What will happen if I provide variable to the final? Okay, let me show you. So this variable, if I make it final, now I just removed the final before the class, guys. Okay, so I'll make this variable final. What will happen if I make the variable final? So I'm getting an error, but there is a reason why the error is coming. Here, I created the variable, I defined the variable, but I have not given any value to this variable. Okay, so the final specified, final access, non-access modifier specified variables need to be initialized in the same line itself. Okay, here itself I need to initialize, guys. I have to give some value. Say amaze I have to give here itself. Okay, here itself I have to give some value, guys, otherwise it will not take. Okay, if I don't initialize here at the same line where the variable is declared or created, right, the final will not accept. Okay, so and one more thing, guys. Okay, so once I make this final, I cannot update this value, guys. Okay, I cannot update this value. So what if inside the start car, if I say model is equal to, okay, not amaze but I20, if I make, this will not be accepted. Okay, this is not accepted, guys. Okay, this cannot be accepted because final means the final value. The value cannot be changed. You cannot update this value. That's what it is saying. What if I remove the final? The error will be gone. You see, I can update the value, right? The variables which are specified with final access non-access modifier, final non-access modifier, okay, need to be initialized at the same line where the variable is created and specified as final. And also they cannot be updated anywhere in the program. If you want to update, you have to remove the final here. Okay, this is final. If you apply final to the variables, what will happen? Final variables values cannot be changed. You cannot change the value of the final variables. Okay, final variable values cannot be changed. If you put final here, the values cannot be changed. Okay, if I say final here, you see I cannot update the value here. I have to remove this. Okay, to overcome that error. I cannot update this value. Original value should be there. That's it. That's what is final with variables. Then what if I provide final with methods? What will happen if I provide final before this method? Public final void start car. then what will happen? When I apply final with the methods, guys, okay, when I apply final to the methods, these methods cannot be overridden. Final methods cannot be overridden by child classes. Okay, that means here this amaze class is the child class of the car class, and it's inheriting. Amaze class is actually inheriting all the properties of the amaze class is actually inheriting all the properties of the parent class. But what if this method is final? Means if I try to override, that is, if I say public void, if I create the same class here, okay, if I create the same class start car and try to create, it will not be allowed. Okay, because this method is now specified with final non-access modifier. Final non-access modifier specified methods cannot be overridden by the child classes. You cannot create this method at any cost. Okay, already you are getting, you see, start car cannot override start car because it's all specified with final. If I remove final, like this is okay. You see, now okay, I can override, right? I can override the method in the parent class in the child class if this is the method in the parent class is not specified with final. But if I specify final here, I cannot override the method in the child class. So that's what happens when I specify final, okay, non-access modifier with methods. So hope guys you understood what is final. Final when specified with classes, these classes cannot be inherited by the child classes. And final when specified with the variables, the values need to be initialized at the same declaration level, and also you cannot update the values. Okay, final variable values cannot be updated, and final specified methods cannot be overridden by the child classes. Okay, done. This is what happens with the final, guys. This is all about final. And finally, we have the last non-access modifier, that is abstract. Okay, we have the next one as abstract, guys. Let me explain about abstract now. Let me clear all this stuff. Freshly, I will explain about abstract. Okay. Okay, guys. What I will do here is I'll create a new class just to explain abstract, guys. Okay. The next non-access modifier I'm going to explain is abstract. Abstract non-access modifier. What is this abstract non-access modifier? And where I can specify this. Okay, abstract non-access modifier can be specified with classes and methods. Okay, abstract non-access modifier can be specified with classes and methods. Okay, only these two places, abstract with classes and methods, I can specify. Okay, I cannot specify abstract anywhere else. Okay, with variables I cannot mention abstract. Okay, for example, if I try here, I will create a class here. I'll create a class known as, let's say, bank class. And what I will do with this bank class is I'll create some variables and methods. So in bank, what will be there? Generally, string account type one, I'll say. Okay, one account type, and I'll say I'll create one method, guys, public void deposit amount. Okay, deposit amount. Okay, in bank, right, generally we deposit the amount, right? Then one method and one, here I'll say amount deposited in bank. Like this, I'll create a sample message also. Fine, guys. Now here we have this sample class known as bank, and inside that we have a variable and method. That's fine. Now, if I can I specify abstract with the variables? If I try to do so, what will happen? Let's see. You see, it's not allowed. Variables you cannot mention abstract, guys. As I mentioned right here, only the classes and methods you have to mention abstract, but variables, it's not allowed here. Okay, for the variables you cannot specify abstract, but for the methods you can specify abstract, and for the classes you can mention abstract. So abstract final is for classes, variables, and methods, all the three. But abstract is only for the classes and methods. Okay, classes and methods. So guys, you see, this is a bank class. Okay, this is a bank class. Inside that we have a variable and method, normal variable and normal method. Now I'll create one more method, guys. This time I'll specify abstract keyword. Okay, before this method, public abstract void transfer amount. Transfer amount. The moment I try to create the body for this method, I'll get an error. Okay, so abstract methods cannot have the method body. Okay, you say non-abstract. This is non-abstract method, right? Normal method, guys. Okay, this public void, so it's not specified with abstract here, right? this particular method is not specified with abstract, so I can provide the method body and I can write the code inside the method body. That's fine. But if I specify a particular method with abstract non-access modifier, in that case, that particular method cannot have the body like this. You see, the moment I try to create the body like this, I'm getting the error. For the mouse on this, it will say that abstract methods in non-abstract class. Okay, so it's saying something, so that's okay. So the thing is, guys, here I need to remove the body here. Okay, at least it will be okay. I'll tell you what the error is. I'll tell you without complicating, guys. So you see, first of all, abstract methods should not have the method body. That is the number one rule. Okay, understand this. Number one rule here is if a if you specify abstract non-access modifier before methods, okay, these abstract methods should not contain method body. Okay, should not contain method body. That's one thing. And also, if a particular class, okay, a class having at least one abstract method, if it is there, that class also should be made abstract. Two rules. Okay, second rule is class having at least one at least one abstract method should also be made abstract. That means here this particular bank class has one abstract method. Okay, it has one non-abstract method and one abstract method. At least one abstract method is means that class also should be specified with abstract. You see, the error will go on the class level. You see, the moment I make this class as abstract, you see the error is gone because the class having at least one abstract method also should be abstract. That is the number one rule. Second rule is abstract methods cannot have the method body, guys. Okay, abstract methods are the methods which will not contain the method body. Here the error is not going because this method has a method body. You see, hover the mouse now after making this class abstract. Now the error will change. Abstract methods cannot have a body, it's saying, right? That means I have to remove this body and simply put a semicolon here. Only we can declare the methods, but we cannot write the code inside the methods. This is for future implementation, guys. Okay, in future we have to implement these methods, not now. If you specify some methods as abstract, the method body cannot be implemented. That particular methods will not have, only declaration of the methods can be done, but implementation of the method cannot be done. Okay, but if a class has at least one abstract method, that class also has to be specified with abstract. So in this class, guys, I can create any number of non-abstract methods and abstract methods. Okay, for example, I'll create one more non-abstract method, that is public void deposit transfer amount, add beneficiary. Okay, add beneficiary. Okay, this is non-abstract method. It can have method body. Okay, beneficiary added. Okay, beneficiary added. Okay, beneficiary added. And here I can create one more abstract method, public abstract void deposit amount. Okay, so what we can do is um, create fixed deposit. Create fixed deposit if I create, and I cannot create the method body, guys, because this is an abstract method. Abstract methods cannot have this method body. Simply I can only declare the methods. So in this class, guys, there are two non-abstract methods and two abstract methods. But who will implement this abstract methods? Who will implement this abstract methods? That's the question, right? The simple answer is the child classes of this class need to implement this abstract methods. Already these non-abstract methods are already implemented, but these two methods are not implemented and they need to be implemented later. But who will implement this abstract methods? The child classes of this class need to implement this abstract methods. How? For that I have to create one more. Let's say I'll create a class known as HDFC class. Okay, HDFC class. I'll open this HDFC on the right split. And here, what I will do here is now I will make this HDFC class a child class of this bank. How? Using the extends keyword. I'll simply say extends and say extends bank. The moment I the moment I say HDFC extends bank, I'm getting an error because this bank has some abstract methods. Okay, this bank has some abstract methods and they need to be implemented. They need to be implemented in the child class. That's why I'm getting the error. for the mouse, and here says class HDFC must either be declared abstract or implement abstract methods. That is transfer method. Okay, transfer amount is abstract method, right? Here I'll implement it. Public void transfer amount. I'll implement this method in the child class. Okay, so here I'll say sys out amount transferred amount transferred. Okay, I'll say, and still the error is not gone because here in the parent class, that is bank class, we not only have one abstract method, another abstract method is also there. That's why error is still there. For the mouse, this time it says must be either declared abstract or it must implement abstract method create fixed deposit. This another abstract method also it's asking us to implement. Let's create public void create fixed deposit. Okay, like this, create fixed deposit. And the moment I create the body for this abstract method in the parent class, in the child class, you see the error is gone. Here fixed deposit got created. Okay, deposit got created. Okay, fixed deposit created, like this. You see, who will implement the abstract methods? The child classes of this class will implement the abstract methods. Okay, so, and there are a few more things that you have to understand, guys. Okay, there are a few more things that you need to understand about this abstract methods and abstract classes. Thing is that we cannot create objects. Okay, I'll create one more class demo. I'll open this in right split again. So guys, here the thing is I cannot create object for the bank class. Okay, the next important thing that you have to remember about the abstract classes is for abstract classes, for abstract classes, objects cannot be created. Objects cannot be created for abstract classes. Okay, that's the problem. You cannot create objects for the abstract classes in Java. So when you try to create, I'll create main method. Inside the main method, I'll try to create an object for the bank class. I'll say new bank. Bank is an abstract class, and for this abstract class, object cannot be created. For the mouse, it will simply say bank is abstract, cannot be instantiated. Okay, instantiated. That means object cannot be created for the bank class. Simple words. Then how? If I am not able to create an object for the bank class, then how? Thing is, even though you cannot create an object for the bank class, but you see there is a child class like HDFC, which is inheriting all the properties of the bank class. Okay, bank is a parent of the HDFC, and it is also implementing all the abstract methods of this parent class. In that case, we can create, if you want to utilize this properties of the bank class, then we cannot directly create an object for the bank class. Rather, we can create object for the HDFC class. Okay, so HDFC is equal to new HDFC. Like this, you can create HDFC is equal to new HDFC. I can create an object for the HDFC, and using this object reference, I can access all the things. Okay, you see HDFC dot account type. You see account type is coming from the bank parent, right? Account type is equal to, I'll simply say savings. Okay, savings account. Similarly, I can say HDFC dot. I can access all this non-abstract methods of the bank abstract class. That is a deposit amount. I can say HDFC dot another abstract method, non-abstract method of the abstract class. That is a add beneficiary. I can call. Similarly, using this HDFC, I can access HDFC dot and access the HDFC related transfer amount and create fixed deposit also. HDFC dot transfer amount, HDFC dot create fixed deposit, everything I can access. Okay, run this code, it will run, guys. Okay, you will get all the output properly. You see amount deposited in bank, beneficiary added, amount transferred, and fixed deposit created. So this is the thing, guys. Okay, we cannot directly create an object for the abstract class. Instead, we can create object for the child class of this abstract class and access all the properties of the abstract class. Okay, that's one thing. So what if still you want to use this abstract class somewhere? Okay, there is a way, guys. Okay, instead of saying HDFC is equal to new HDFC, here I can say bank is equal to new HDFC. This is possible. Okay, this is possible, guys. Okay, bank is equal to new HDFC is possible. How? Here we are not creating an object for the bank bank class, which is of abstract type. Okay, here we are creating the object for the child class only, but assigning that object to the variable of the bank abstract class. Okay, this is possible. This is okay. Okay, we can, because bank is a parent of this HDFC, right? So the child class object can be assigned to the variable of the parent class. Okay, the child class object can be assigned to the variable of the parent class. Some cases we may need this, guys. Okay, you will not understand here, but when we go to Selenium and all those stuff, okay, you will understand why we have to create an object for the child class and assign that object to the variable of the parent class. Okay, that situation I'll explain during Selenium automation. Okay, till then just understand at this level. Now I can say bank dot bank dot, no problem, right? Bank dot bank dot. Okay, I can access like this, no problem. Okay, this will work without any problem. It will work. But why we have to create an object for the child class and assign to the variable of the parent class, I will explain more during Selenium automation. Okay. For now, understand that this possibility is there. Even though we cannot directly create an object for the bank class because it is of abstract, we can create an object for the child class of the bank class and assign that object to the variable of the bank class. Okay, this is only possible. But we cannot create an object directly for the bank class. Fine. So what else is left? So that's what is abstract, guys. Okay, abstract is all about the partial implementation. Abstract means when we have to use abstract, when you want to, the purpose of the abstract is when you want to partially implement. Okay, when you want to partially implement any class, few things you want to implement, few things you don't want to implement. In that case, you can go with the abstract case. Okay, for example, if you specify abstract for a class, partial implementation is possible, right? Here in this bank abstract class, few things are implemented, few things are not implemented. Okay, this is called as partial implementation. Okay, these methods are not implemented, right? The code is not written for these methods, they are written by the child classes. This partial implementation is possible with the abstract classes. So we are done with almost all non-access modifiers. Okay, so access modifiers are done, non-access modifiers are done, but there is one more thing called one more thing known as interfaces, guys. Okay, so we can understand these interfaces on the flow, okay? Because interfaces are nothing but an extension of this abstract classes, okay? Interfaces are nothing but an next level of the abstract classes. We are done with the modifiers, but let's also cover interfaces as part of this session. So let me also cover interfaces as part of this session. So while abstract classes are all about partial implementation, but interfaces are all about what? Interfaces means zero implementation. Here, here at least partial implementation is there, but in with interfaces there is zero implementation. Okay, with interfaces there is zero implementation. None of the methods in the interfaces can have the body. Okay, we'll see that now. So what I will do is I'll close all this stuff. Abstract classes can have at least some methods implemented and other methods as without any method body and all. But interfaces, there is no chance. All the methods are by default. Okay, abstract type. Okay, so I'll delete these files and I'll explain about interfaces now, where 100% zero implementation. Okay, zero implementation, guys, 0% implementation. Here at least partial, here no implementation at all. Now how to create an interface? The way we create the class, similar way we can create interfaces. Okay, so right click on this src and select new. Instead of selecting Java class here, okay, instead of selecting Java class here, somewhere here, okay, you have to see some interface, but interface option is not there. In IntelliJ, guys, IntelliJ, you have to select this Java class and you have to change the option to interface. Okay, in IntelliJ, the way we have to follow for creating the interface is the same way that we have to use for creating the class. First we have to say new Java class, and here I need to select the option from class to interface, and I will give the interface name, say bank. Let's say this is the interface, guys. So here there are few rules, guys. Okay, if I create some methods inside the interface, all the methods by default are abstract type. For example, public void deposit money. Okay, deposit amount or money. If I try to create an method body here, you see by default I'm getting the error. Okay, in interface by default all the methods are abstract. Okay, even though abstract is not mentioned here, by default they're all abstract, guys. Okay, you don't have to specifically mention abstract here. By default all the methods inside the interface are abstract. Okay, hover the mouse, you see interface abstract methods cannot have body. Okay, by default all the methods are abstract. That means all the methods inside the interface will not have any body. Okay, so only declaration of the methods, but no implementation. Transfer money. Okay, any methods you create, they should not contain any method body. You see, if you try to create method body, by default you will get errors. By default, all the methods inside the interface of are abstract. Public void, deposit money, transfer money. Okay, so add beneficiary and public void, create fixed deposit. All the methods are by default abstract type. That will they will not have method body. Okay, 100% zero implementation. That's it. Okay. In abstract classes, at least we have some methods implemented and other methods not implemented. But in case of interfaces, all the methods are by default abstract and they cannot have the method body. Only the method declaration will be there. What about the variables? What about the variables, guys? Variables also have few rules in interface, guys. Okay. There are few rules for variables also. Okay. I'll tell you what are the rules. So I'll explain and tell you. First, I'll say string account type. Account type 1. The moment I say account type 1, I'll get an error here. Okay, string account type 1. You see why I'm getting the error means by default, the variables inside the interface are by default final type. Okay, by default what type? In interface, in interfaces, methods are by default, all the methods are by default what? Abstract methods. Okay, by default abstract. That means they will not have method body. But coming to variables, variables inside the interface are by default what type? Final. Okay, they are by default final. They are by default final, guys. Hold the mouse. You see, variable must be initialized. Why it's asking you to initialize? Because it's final, right? Final variables need to be initialized at the same line where the declaration is done. Account type, I will say savings. I can create one more variable, string account type 2 is equal to, okay, I'll say current account, done. So both the variables are final type. The values cannot be changed, guys. Final means the final variable values cannot be changed. Savings to some other thing I cannot change. Current to some other thing I cannot change. Okay, like that. Not only final, guys, they're also static by default. Okay, the final variables are also static by default. Even though these keywords like final and static are not mentioned here, they are final and static by default. Okay, they are also static. Static means the variables, static variables means they belong to the common memory. Here in this case, class is not there, right? Interface keyword is there. There is an interface, guys. It's not a class. You see, public interface, interface name. In case of class, public class, class name will be there. Okay. So here, these variables belong to the interface memory, common memory, interface memory. In case of class, they will belong to static variables belong to the class memory. In case of interface, by default, the variables inside the interface are static and they belong to the interface memory. Okay, fine. Now, guys, the same thing with the interface is also same thing, guys. Okay, one thing is full abstract, full non-implementation, right? No implementation will be there at all. At least in abstract classes, we have partial implementation, but here zero implementation. But again, the same rules applies for the interfaces also. Okay, same rules applies for the interfaces also. We cannot create objects like similar to abstract classes. In abstract classes also we cannot create objects directly, right? We cannot create objects directly for interfaces. For interfaces we cannot create objects directly, guys. Okay, in abstract class also we cannot create objects directly, right? So what if I try to create an object for this bank? Okay, it will not work. Okay, I'll tell you later. So I'll create now, I'll create, but guys, who will implement this abstract methods of this interface? Similar to the abstract classes, guys, the child classes of this interface, okay, the child class of this interface need to implement this abstract methods of this interface. Okay, so I'll simply create a new class. This time class I will create, guys, not interface. I'll say HDFC class and I'll open this HDFC class on the right side, open in right split, and here I'll, you see, if I make this HDFC a child class of this bank interface, then all these abstract methods of this interface need to be implemented by this class. Okay, but here how to make this class as a child class of this interface? Here I cannot use extends keyword, guys. In case of making this HDFC class as a child class of this interface, I cannot use extends keyword. extends is not allowed, guys. If I use extends here, I'll get an error. You see, I cannot use extends, guys. Here, in case of making this class as a child class of the interface, in case of interfaces, in place of extends, we have to use implements. Okay, implements is a keyword. Now, okay, fine. I'm still getting the error. The reason here is this interface has some abstract methods which need to be implemented by the child class. You see, it will say that you need to implement deposit money. One by one, it will ask you. So let's create all the things. Public void, deposit money. I will implement this method first. Okay, sys out. Okay, money deposited. The next method. Now again, still the error will be there. It will ask, this time it will ask you to implement next method, transfer money. Public void, transfer money. Here also, sys out, money transferred, done. Now still error will be there because two more abstract methods are there. Add beneficiary, public void, add beneficiary. Here, sys out, beneficiary added. And finally, last one, create fixed deposit, public void, create fixed deposit. Here also same thing, sys out, fixed deposit created. Okay, so you see all the four abstract methods got implemented by the child class of this interface, and now you see the error is gone. So now coming back, guys, we cannot create objects directly for the interfaces. Okay, though there is a similarity between the abstract classes and interfaces. Okay, so a lot of similarities are there, right? Yeah, but interfaces are zero implementation, whereas abstract classes are partial implementation. Okay, apart from that, most of the things are same, right? So here the thing is, I cannot directly create an object for the bank interface. If I try to create, I'll create one more class, the demo class, and I'll just open this on the right side. And in the demo class, I'll create a main method. And if I try to create an object for the interface, say new bank like this, I'll get an error. You see? So bank is abstract, cannot be instantiated. Okay, that means I cannot create object for the bank interface. In Java, we cannot create objects for the abstract classes and interfaces, guys. Okay. Then what? Then how to access these properties of the bank interface? Again, as you can see, there is a child class, right? Which is implementing this interface. So using the child class, by creating an object for the child class, we can access, guys. Okay. New HDFC. Here I'll say HDFC is equal to new HDFC. Now using this object reference, I can access. Okay. Using this object reference, I can access all the properties of the bank interface. So HDFC dot. Okay. I'll simply say this out. HDFC dot account. What is that? HDFC dot. Okay. You see the problem with these variables are static and final. That means I should not be using the object reference to access these variables, right? So in order to access this variables of this bank interface, I have to use the name of the interface. That is sysout bank dot. If I say bank dot account type, now it's coming because these are static. These are static and final by default. Okay, static means belong to the bank interface. Similarly, here I'll say sysout. Here I will say bank dot account type 2. Okay, I can access. Similarly, what about this variable, these methods? Okay, these methods are implemented by the HDFC class, okay, which is child class of this interface. To access that, I'll try to use object reference, that is HDFC dot deposit money. I can access HDFC dot transfer money, HDFC dot add beneficiary, HDFC dot create fixed deposit. Using the object reference of this child class, I can access. But guys, I cannot create an object for the bank interface, but there is a limitation where I can create object for the child class of this interface and assign that object to the variable of bank interface. I can simply say bank is equal to, here I can say bank is equal to new HDFC. This is okay. Okay. This is possible, guys. Okay. So bank bank. So why this kind of situation is there, I'll explain during Selenium automation. Okay, why you have to create an object for the child class and assign that to the variable of the bank interface. Okay, though you cannot create an object directly for the bank interface, here you are creating object for the child class and assigning that object to the variable of the bank interface, right? So here object reference belong to the bank interface, whereas object belongs to the HDFC class. Why this kind of situation is really coming, why we have to use this kind of scenario, that you will understand clearly during Selenium automation. Okay, till then just have an idea that you can create objects only for the child classes of the interfaces, but we cannot create objects directly for the interfaces, but we can create objects for the child classes and assign them to the variables of the interfaces. Okay, just remember that for a while. Run this code, it will work out. Okay, all the things will be displayed in the output. You see savings, current, money deposited, money transferred, beneficiary added, and fixed deposit created. Okay, all the things are working. So this is all about the interfaces, guys. Okay, I also covered the interfaces for you in this session. So with this, guys, we are done with this session. I covered modifiers and interfaces. Now guys, we are ready to step on to Selenium. Okay, in the next session I will start Selenium. Okay, we'll get started with Selenium 4, where I'll show you how to configure a project, how to configure the things with Selenium 4, and how to start working with Selenium, how to run automation scripts in Selenium. Okay, this much of Java knowledge is enough, but at later point of time, after few Selenium sessions, I will again start Java, guys, because then we need to learn more Java concepts for frameworks. Okay, based on the requirement, again I will explain some other Java concepts, and then again resume the Selenium, like that. Okay, but next session will be on Selenium, guys. We'll get started with Selenium in the next session. Okay, next few sessions will be on Selenium. After that, again we'll go with Java, and again we'll go with the Selenium and all those stuff. Okay, like that. Okay, this is how the sessions are being planned in this course. So that's it, guys. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.